German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, he is in Canada tonight meeting his Canadian counterpart, who says that his country is looking at delivering liquefied natural gas to Europe. Scholz is on a 3-day visit to Canada, hoping to find new sources of energy as Berlin tries to decrease its dependence on Russian energy. Now, speaking in Montreal, the leaders said that Russia's war in Ukraine demands a short-term boost to fossil fuels, even as they remain focused on renewable energy and fighting climate change long-term. Now, the Chancellor highlighted the similarities that Germany and Canada share that help them work together. Take a listen.
There is a special cooperation between Canada and Germany in all the questions that are related to the future. So both the countries have the idea of becoming successfully fighting against climate change. And so there's a lot of economic and technological cooperation which benefits the two countries, because our industries, our business sectors and our political representatives are working together to make this happen. And when we now see that there is this Russian aggression against Ukraine and in the end to the rest of the world, it is absolutely necessary that we accelerate these processes.
There's still a big question, though. Will Scholz's efforts to secure Canadian energy mean that people here in Germany can breathe a little bit more easily as they head into a possibly very long and cold winter? We put that question to our political correspondent, Nina Haase. She is traveling with the German Chancellor.
Yeah, Canada is not going to play a role in helping Germany overcome those shortages that are being caused by, of course, the lack of Russian gas supplies this winter. This is something that nobody's raising any expectations for. But what's important is to intensify already existing bonds and sign memorandums of understanding so that both countries agree that they will work together very closely when it comes to that transformation of the industry, when it comes to making that green. And this is, of course, a medium to long-term prospect. But Germany hopes that it can convince Canada to use some of its untapped potential and also explore liquid natural gas on the east coast, and then hopefully export that to Germany. So, and also, more importantly, perhaps use the hydrogen potential in the country. And there is the hope that in 3 to 6 years' time, perhaps the first hydrogen can be exported from Canada to Germany.
Earlier, I spoke to energy analyst Thomas O'Donnell about how much green energy cooperation with Canada can help Europe out with its current crisis.
Canada cannot supply any renewable energy that will make any difference in the current confrontation with Russia. They're spending some time going to a small city near the northern coast of Canada, I believe in New Brunswick, to look at where Canada says they will in the future produce hydrogen, green hydrogen. Now, this is sort of one of those things that's very important to do when you meet a German chancellor, and especially Mr. Habeck, the Green Super Minister of Environment and Energy. But really what they're after, I think, in the immediate is minerals. And we could talk about that, rare earths and so forth, and copper, but also LNG. But even that, Canada can't provide it for some years, LNG.
I wanted to take that up. So Trudeau was asked, when will Canada deliver LNG to Germany and how much? He said he was looking for the business case to do so. What does he mean by that exactly?
That means he's not convinced he should do it. There's something, I'll admit, as the expert here, I wrote some articles on Germany's real LNG policy about 4 or 5 years ago in 2018, when the previous coalition decided in its initial treaty under Merkel that they would fund and support LNG import terminals in northern Germany, which were purely for liquid for transportation. But it never happened. And during that time, one thing they did is they said they were going to contribute $500,000 in Canada on the coast for building a facility that would export LNG. Nothing ever happened afterwards. It died, and here they are again bringing it up. And Canada, according to Trudeau, seemingly isn't yet committed
So it doesn't sound like you think Germany should count on Canadian LNG, but we're seeing European energy prices spike again this week after this announcement of a 3-day shutdown of Nord Stream 1 at the end of the month. How do you rate Germany's chances of successfully replacing shrinking gas supplies quickly?
It's simply not possible. And don't take it on my authority. Listen to Mr. Mueller, who's head of the network agency for the natural gas infrastructure in Germany. He says this will be a crisis of 2 years. If Putin cuts off the big pipelines, he said this publicly, he's absolutely right. If he cuts off the big pipelines, storage, A, won't be filled if he cuts it off now. B, if he cuts it off later, storage isn't enough. You can't replace those huge pipeline imports simply with storage. After 2-3 months, there's a debate now, it would run out. And this would be quite a crisis. And there's no reason to believe this won't repeat for 2 years. It'll take that long to find other supplies from other countries.
Thank you very much, energy analyst Thomas O'Donnell there.